moving stealthily around the cabin, keeping her body close to the dusky shadows and away from window reflections. She hastily gathered her gear. She had prepared for camping trips, and she was knee-high to a grasshopper. Those were Grandpa's words for his adoring little granddaughter. Grandpa had spent many hours retelling his camping experiences to the youngster. All those wonderful times taught Rebecca the art, as well as the dangers, of managing life in an often brutal outdoor world. Grandpa taught her how to survive in the wilderness, the Rocky Mountain wilderness of his Colorado homestead. Now, all she had to do was adapt from the Rockies to her new world here in the Talkeetna Mountains of central Alaska. I'll need a tent, or if that's not around, a tarp. Stretch it over branches and set poles in the four corners. That's a start, Rebecca thought, eyeing an old tarp covering the doorway to the only bedroom. She gently pulled the tarp from its supporting tacks and spread it out flat in the corner of the cabin. Into the center of the tarp she placed the next item of necessity, a woolen blanket draped across the couch. No pillows where I'm headed, she ruefully reflected. The clothes she found in the bedroom closet were all hardy, well-worn articles suited to her needs, if not style. Evidently the owner was a hefty man because Rebecca's slight build was dwarfed by the clothes. But she would make do. A pair of jeans, 2 plaid flannel shirts, and 2 pairs of heavy winter socks she neatly stacked on top of the blanket. With luck running her way, Rebecca found sturdy leather work boots covered with rubber galoshes, a down-filled hunting jacket, and a cap, all heaped in a corner of the closet. "These will make a classy wardrobe," she teased. The back porch yielded a 2-foot-long bow saw and several knives. A hatchet, sheathed in an elaborately carved leather case, as well as a canteen and nylon rope, were tidily stored in the adjoining washroom. Carefully, Rebecca selected and packed these belongings. Only the food cache was left to raid. After crossing to the small addition serving as a one-person kitchen, Rebecca cautiously drew the window shades down. The little room suddenly turned into a haven for her secretive activity. "Start water boiling for hot oatmeal," she instructed her busy mind. A box of powdered milk sat on the top shelf next to the oatmeal box, as if waiting to provide the right touch for a much-needed hot food. Soon both her cold stomach and cold, fearful heart were warmed by the hot oatmeal, topped with sugar, cinnamon, and milk. Rebecca reluctantly pushed away from the homey little table to resume her search for supplies. What would the cabin owner think if he could see her pilfering through his belongings? A small chuckle escaped as she thought of the generosity the owner was so unwittingly providing, even hot oatmeal. Her chuckle changed to grim determination as she remembered this meal would be her last luxury in the foreseeable future. Rebecca hastily threw small stores of sugar, flour, and salt, as well as small sacks of both beans and noodles into the pack. Hardtack biscuits went in both the pack and her coat pockets. Then a couple of cans of meats and chili. She next added the powdered milk and oatmeal boxes. There was only a cupful of dried coffee in a baggie on the bottom shelf, but in the pack it went. A tin plate, cup, spoon, and fork rounded out the carefully calculated gear. Rebecca skillfully drew up and bound the tarp with the nylon rope, leaving loops of the rope to serve as shoulder harnesses. Donning the big man's hunting clothes completed her hasty getaway preparations. Rebecca stooped to tuck the pant legs into her boots, but froze as she heard a rustling at the window. "Oh, no," she whispered. "I forgot. I got so busy. I should have been watching the cabin windows." The only light visible was early dawning grays and pinks, but movement, either inside or outside the cabin, would attract the human eye before anything else. Rebecca sank to the floor, shielded from view behind the tarp pack. Barely breathing in an effort to both hide and listen at the same time, Rebecca remained motionless. The rustling continued, with movement increasing outside the window. "I'm doomed," she thought hopelessly. "I can't escape, but I can't just give up. Why did I have to sink to this? When only yesterday, yes, just yesterday, everything had been fine." Tears were close to the surface, but she couldn't afford a single sound. "Rebecca, you can't..."